We're the rats. We play at night, we stalk at night. We're the rats. I'm the giant rat that makes all of the rules. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into.
Malakaliki Maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. Well, it's that time of the season again. You know the one. It's time to rank rat models from video games. I'm gonna give these rats a letter grade anywhere from A+ to F. And this is entirely just based on design, because some of these rats may have more of a purpose within the narrative or the gameplay, and other ones are just, you know, literal background items. Starting off the list, we have a rat from Little Nightmares. Now, I love Little Nightmares, and I love its unique style. I think this rat is an okay depiction of that style. I wouldn't say it necessarily brings out the aesthetic of the game, but it's not really that important considering it's not really a big model in the game or anything. And overall, this model's just okay, but it's nothing too offensive. I'm gonna give it a C+. Next up, we have the rat model from Dishonored II, and this boy looks mischievous. He's got the long, pointy nose and the very human ears. This guy looks pretty intimidating. He almost looks like he might want to try to sell me something that I may or may not want to buy. Dishonored 2 rat gets a B+. Now, just by looking at this model, you probably wouldn't guess what game it's from considering how detailed it looks. This is actually from Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and I gotta say, I don't know if it's the shading or the lighting or the angle or whatever, but this looks really, really good, especially for Oblivion. And Oblivion is, despite being an overall impressive game for 2006, it does not hold up very well today in the graphics department, but this rat's looking pretty sexy. Honestly, this is a solid A. Sticking to the Elder Scrolls, this rat is from the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. This one, obviously more low poly. Still relatively detailed though, not as good as the last one, but it's okay. It's menacing. It gets the job done. I like the red eyes. I'm gonna give this one a B-. This rat here is from Baldur's Gate 3, and he's really cute and seems very friendly. This is a good rat model, and if you've played Baldur's Gate 3, or Baldur's Gate, tomato, you know that the rats kind of play somewhat of an important role, or more just like they have their own thing going on. They're definitely more than just like a background item / enemy thing. But yeah, this just based on the model, this rat's pretty great. I think this guy's also going to get an A. This is the rat model from Red Dead Redemption 2. He looks very menacing as well, very rat-like, almost hinges on the lines of looking like a naked mole rat. Yeah, but I don't know, this rat's very stinky looking, and I just don't like it, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to give this rat a F. This rat here is from Dark Souls 2. It is kind of a rat-dog hybrid thing. I have to say, I do not like the textures on this one. It just does not look very high quality. It doesn't look like the parts of the fur look like where they belong for some parts. I'm sure it looks great in the game, but just looking at the model itself, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm gonna give this one a C, just a C. We're gonna give it a C. It's not bad. Next up, we got the rat from Fallout 4. No fur, very threatening. Looks like a single bite could probably kill you with some sort of awful plague infection. I love the detail on the skin and the tail especially. Yeah, this is a really good one. I do like a good rat with fur though, but I love the detail on this. Love how menacing he is. This is an A-. This rat is from BioShock Infinite, and it looks like it's dead. Very low poly, even for its era. I mean, it's a small item. I get why it would be low poly. And it's obviously not meant to be viewed this close and observed. It's, you know, like, it gets the job done, but as a standalone rat model, it's pretty underwhelming. This one is gonna get a D+. This rat model is from Thief 2: The Metal Age. This barely even looks like a rat. If I didn't know this was a rat, it would probably take me a little bit to figure that out. There'd be like a handful of other animals that I'd probably put into the mix. In fact, I thought at first that its eyes were actually its ears and its nose holes were its eyes, which might even work better. I don't know, but yeah, no, this rat's a little messy. This is gonna get a D-. And here he is in all of its glory, the famous, for a good reason, Halo 3 rat. This, automatic A+. And that's not just because Halo 3 is my favorite game ever made. This is the epitome of ratness in video games. They did not need to go this hard with this beautiful design. Surely unmatched. This is pure high art in video games right here. This rat is from HalfLife II. If I first looked at that rat, I'd have no idea that's from HalfLife 2. It's pretty underwhelming. Very typical standard rat model, very low poly, not much detail. This is gonna probably also go in the D. I'm gonna give it the D. Next up, we got the Resident Evil 4 Remake rat model. This one's pretty detailed. It's got the, you know, all the fur, and, you know, it just looks like a pretty detailed fat rat. Nothing really all that unique about it necessarily, but it looks good. And for that, I'm gonna put it in the B. You know what? Make it a B+. Now, this rat is from the Stalker series, and this is some sort of mutated rat, because obviously rats don't walk on their hind legs. Well, maybe some of the ones in the New York City subway do, but usually they don't. Yeah, this guy's menacing. He looks like he would kill me in a matter of seconds. And, he's unique. We're gonna give this guy a B+. Now, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is from Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong Quest. And after recent events, I feel like Diddy Kong should probably change his name to avoid any, you know, confusion. This is a pretty silly, goofy guy. A little terrifying. You know what I do love, though, and this is definitely a pre-rendered image, but I do love the individual simulated hair on it and the reflections on its skin. This, you know, this looks pretty good for its time. This guy's getting A tier. This is the GTA 5 rat, and I would have to say, out of all the models on this list so far, this is probably like the safest rat model. It's the right amount of detail, the right scale. It's not intimidating or stylized. It's just a plain rat. And, you know, I gotta respect it. It's a very vanilla rat. I don't think, you know, it's at the top of the list because there's nothing really all that super special about it other than it's just painfully normal. But for something so small and to have this much detail, I do commend it. This is probably also like a B-. And finally on our list, we have the Terraria Rat. Nice pixelated rat man. He looks very friendly. He looks very helpful almost. Like he's gonna bring you a little piece of cheese. You know, I dig it. I dig it. This is a pretty solid rat. This rat, I think, is going to get an A-. And there you have it. The list of letter grades for video game rats. And there's plenty more rats out there. So, you know, I'm sure I missed a lot of great ones, but this is just a handful of great video game rats. I would love for somebody to make a tier list of just, like, the games themselves based on this. and then somebody would have to like guess what they're ranking, because I'm sure that list will look ridiculous. But yeah, happy holidays, and you know, stay warm.